The existence of extraterrestrials and the possibility of communicating with them have long been topics of intense interest within the scientific community, the popular press, and among science fiction authors. This interest has spawned initiatives such as the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, known as SETI, which continues to be a focus for many scientists despite the difficulty of securing consistent funding for this field of study. Practitioners of the physical, social, and behavioral disciplines have all theorized and speculated about the nature of extraterrestrial intelligence, and the difficulties associated with interstellar communication. The general consensus has been that the universe is very likely to be home to other intelligent entities, that some of these will be more technologically advanced than humans, and that some are actively searching for other intelligences right now. In all likelihood, if we encounter an extraterrestrial intelligence, the encounter will neither be physical nor continuous. We are more likely to discover a message or a remote instrument, and the civilization that we will encounter in a way or another will more advanced than us. Welcome back to my channel. Most probably we are surrounded by ancient alien civilizations. In either case, given the current constraints of space-time and relativity theory, there will be a significant delay between information exchanges. Given the improbability of physical contact with aliens, there appears to be little likelihood of hostile encounters, even if intelligent extraterrestrials have ill intentions, which is a distinct possibility. The pertinent issue appears to be how we will respond to the knowledge that there are other intelligences in the universe, and the inherent challenge it poses. It seems plausible that there may be some civilizations older than ours in the galaxy, but could we really be surrounded by civilizations that are truly ancient by humanity's standards? If any alien civilization exists out there, it is unlikely that there would be the same level of development as ourselves. They are either behind or ahead, and the best bet is about communication with the civilizations is primarily in terms of radio communication. Since radio technology has only been available to humanity for roughly a century, there is a 100 light-years bubble having the Earth in the center, that expands with the speed of light. These are the 100 years that have passed since the humanity started to broadcast radio signals. Therefore, if another civilization is very far behind us, they would not have radio technology, and would therefore be undetectable. As an extension of the search for exoplanets, it has been argued that SETI can be conducted most effectively with the use of exceedingly large optical telescopes. 1,000 km diameter optical telescope could resolve a 1 km diameter object, at 100 light-years away. Such a telescopic instrument, or its equivalent, a device utilizing aperture synthesis, is theoretically possible with the technology available today, despite the fact that it would be technically challenging and extremely expensive. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence, or SETI, was framed almost exclusively as a search for radio communication. This made perfect sense to those at the time, beginning in the 1960s when the SETI program was initiated, given the widespread use of radio on Earth. Even if alien radio signals were detected by humanity, the senders could be long dead. But this goes either way. They could be dead by the time we receive their radio signals. Or they could be a flourishing interstellar empire, having already made the transition from radio to laser-based communications. SETI researchers must engage in extensive speculation within this context. In any case, there are currently no accepted indications of extraterrestrial intelligence. As with many fascinating topics for which data are currently insufficient, and repercussions are far-reaching, it is not surprising that scientists hold diverse, and sometimes vehemently polarized views on many SETI issues, such as the probability of being contacted by other intelligences, what extraterrestrials might be like, and the wisdom of sending interstellar messages. What if SETI telescopes detect a signal from a faraway star system? Could we comprehend it? Should we take action? If so, what and how should we express it? Should we immediately call them without waiting for them to initiate contact? Although some messages have been sent into space, SETI's primary focus has been on listening, or passive SETI, rather than transmitting, or active SETI. In recent years, the SETI community has debated whether further communications should be sent at all, but broadcasting has persisted, and approaches to the problem of message content and encoding what to say, and how to say it, have evolved significantly. Discussions regarding the format and content of outgoing and incoming interstellar communications date back to at least the early 1800s. Numerous individuals have argued that we should not be overly concerned with optimally encoding our messages or decoding their hypothetical messages to us. As is commonly assumed in SETI circles, if extraterrestrial civilizations turn out to be vastly older and more advanced than us, then perhaps they will construct their messages so that we can understand them, and perhaps they will have no trouble understanding whatever we say, regardless of how we say it. Since it's reasonable to assume that a civilization capable of receiving an interstellar message is intelligent, it's also reasonable to assume that given enough time to comprehend the alphanumeric documents, they will be able to learn the meanings of many of our words. Furthermore, any intelligent extraterrestrial engineer would be able to decode our television signals, and would likely find them more informative than simple pictograms. Modern thought has shifted away from a pure radio search, as radio is being supplanted by new technologies such as lasers and fiber optics. While radio is an example of a techno-signature, the concept is much broader and encompasses a variety of effects, such as detecting their orbiting satellites through transits, their cities through thermal emission, and even their atmospheric pollutants through atmospheric characterization. It is no longer necessarily that younger civilizations will be less detectable than older, more mature civilizations. Why we still not detected any alien civilization? As a civilization evolves, it may develop technologies to conceal or cloak its presence. Although I would not bet on cloaking an entire civilization serve a real purpose, if somebody is older than you, and if they have already invented telescopes before you did, chances are, your planet has been already identified having life, before your civilization could have risen to a technological level. Even so, I would not see how one civilization can successfully hide its entire techno-signature unless finding a way to bend the laws of thermodynamics. Maybe you can hide your civilization in the visible spectrum, but in the infrared you will even more detectable. A younger civilization, such as one having an industrial revolution, would pollute their atmosphere with pollutants and synthetic refrigerant gases, and they could be far more irresponsible in their effects on the long term, affecting the sustainability of their planet. Given that our emerging technologies could plausibly detect these civilizations, it is reasonable to presume that our next generation space telescopes will detect an alien world inhabited by a sentient species. A uniform distribution characterizes the throw of a dice, as all outcomes are equally probable. Bayesian statistics is a branch of mathematics dedicated to problems in which you have limited information, but are attempting to uncover the truth behind the data. Short-lived civilizations have a little impact, and can be very hard to detect than older civilizations, that had enough time to shape the surroundings, to leave a visible and long-lasting marks of techno-signatures, long after they went extinct. However, this is not a simple question to answer, as we have no direct evidence of civilizations older than 1 billion years. Appropriately, both sets of data conform to the same statistical paradigm, known as an exponential distribution. Extremely prevalent in statistics, exponential distributions require only a single variable to determine the shape of the curve. In this paradigm, the entire distribution is characterized by the average civilizational lifespan. When searching for reasonable values of this parameter, historical data proved beneficial once more, with the best fitting average lifetime being roughly double the current age of our civilization. What I have said is based on a cutting-edge assumption, even if the mathematics behind it is rather common. What is the probability that a detected civilization is either older or younger than us? At first impression, this would imply that we are more likely to encounter a civilization that is younger than us, but this is merely temporal bias, it is simply human nature. I would bet that the first alien civilization that we will detect will be more advanced than us. And if it will happen that an alien spaceship will call us from Earth's orbit, it is obvious they have the technology to traverse the galaxy, and that they are more advanced than us. Either way, the possibility of finding an older, more advanced aliens is plausible. In fact, the possibility that a civilization we just discover would be more sophisticated than us is greater that we would be the top dog. When analyzing civilizations with ambiguous technical prowess, the model's shown that they have the greatest practical impact. They are more advanced than us. If a civilization is significantly more technologically advanced than us, such as one that can construct a Dyson swarm, there will be little doubt as to how their capabilities compare to ours. Nevertheless, if we are able to detect a heat island on a nearby exoplanet, it could represent either a civilization just emerging from the Stone Age, or one that has already developed a fully functional artificial intelligence. The actual result is that if we ever detect an extraterrestrial world, it will likely be older than us. Those interested in contemplating whether and how we might interact with any detectable civilization should bear this fact in mind. And if we ever discover irrefutable evidence of another civilization, we can be sure that it will be most likely that they are more advanced than us. Thank you for watching.